Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Doctor Who reaction. This is Live, and my name is Matt. Oh, what's up? Okay, so last time on Doctor Who, what happened? Well, first episode we had the Halloween apocalypse with the Fluxes happening, and we see the Swarm, and we see the Assure, and a lot of shit happens. So we got Weeping Angels, and we got Centarians, and the next episode we had the Centarians, and they're in the past, but they came from the future, and they were altering history. Centarians are the cause of human history. That was cool. But we kind of stopped that, and I feel like that really wasn't that relevant to the main line Flux storyline. But then Officer Vinder and Yas were teleported to the planet Time, the Temple of Atropos or some shit, whatever. And then there's the Mori or something like that, the Mori, and they those were like quantum locked in position, and two of them broke or something, and then Swarm and Assure and the Passenger, they came in, and then they put Vinder and Yas in the place of the two that were broken, and they were halted at twos, and then they were like, alright, when I click my fingers, all the passage of time is gonna go through them. One! And then we got cliffhanger, and sure, that was it. So yeah, I have no fucking clue what's gonna be this episode. So yes, I'm recording this the day after it came out. I've been trying my best to avoid spoilers on social media and stuff, so I'm pretty good. Patreon, yes, check out the Patreon, check out the link in the description or the pop-up on screen. You can visit the Patreon in order to support the channel. Yay, you can support my dumb bullshit that I do, or you can watch full-length reactions for Doctor Who, so you can watch my full commentary without any cuts. And I think that's it. Alright, let's begin. So, Doctor Who Flux, Series 13, Episode 3. Let's go. It's been 0 days since Doctor Who had Daleks in it. For a second I was like, am I watching Doctor Who? Oh yeah, I am. Is that another entity or is it a concept? It's this time. It's time for that.
Appearing from nowhere, feasting on the wreckage.
The Time Reapers! Right, sure, whatever, man. I have no idea what's happened. Let's go. Let's go. Are they aware? Did you get in here? Well, I think Weeping Angels came from here, maybe. That was my theory for previous episode. What's happened? When are we? What am I looking at?
We require them.
So we're just random soldiers at some point, somewhere, sometime. She's wearing black, isn't he?
We need to get this job done and end the siege of Atropos.
Okay, sure. By the way, she's still wearing her outfit. It's just, the coat is just black now. She's not wearing a soldier outfit. It's kind of cool. I have no idea what the fuck is that. We're on Earth now. What's up? Are we somewhere? Yeah, we are somewhere different. This is like the entire episode is skin crimsoned. Where are we? When is this? What's happening? Is it the Temple of Atropos?
You didn't come. Where were you, done?
The passenger. Is the passenger her? That's the passenger, isn't it? I am the passenger.
What is that?
I feel like we're gonna see a lot of Weeping Angels, aren't we?
No problems.
Don't mind me. I'm trying not to be distracting.
Failing at it, you're floating and also talking. I'm gonna need a little bit of a plot to move, not just weird shit, because I'm very confused. Whoa! What's up? Are you Weeping Angels? But if... Hold on. That's a passenger. That's them. Okay. This is the Doctor's past. This is the Doctor's past before the Gallifrey situation, isn't it? What's up?
Bit of praise for the effective reducer wouldn't go amiss.
Yeah, you're pretty smart for a dog.
What? Language?
What did you call him?
I actually zoned out. I didn't hear what she said. Fuck. But yeah, because I saw everyone else wasn't like a memory. That made me think that this was the Doctor's memory. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
That's me asking you. What's happening? Why does he have a gun? An alien gun? Let's run. Run. Man, I can't believe they brought back the Bastion Errata and made it blue.
Because apparently this is the cyber sector now.
Sure, man, whatever. Just the all-star cast. Get everyone in.
Come on, you're so bad at this. I don't even like playing video games.
What are you playing?
Nobody
I hear guns.
sexy girl with
Alright, I'm super freaking out now.
Doctor playing video games? I heard guns, so maybe it's like Call of Duty or some shit. Boring. Yo, let's play some King of Fighters.
These things haven't happened to me.
Okay.
This isn't my house.
Okay.
The details are wrong. Yaz.
What's the TV?
Don't blink. There are angels disrupting your time stream.
That would be the...
It's stalking me. What is it? Quick again!
Hello, sorry to interrupt the reaction. I'll be brief. My power just like died for like a couple hours. So everything that happened until that point happened before the power dying. And now this is gonna be after. So this is a couple hours later. But luckily I am able to save the footage that we recorded. But the audio for the past couple videos was probably like a little bit weird. So that's why. The audio wasn't salvageable, but the video is. So, alright. We're good. Off we go. We were watching Weeping Angels or some shit. Ah, God. Wait. Okay. Ah!
You have to keep your eyes on it. If the angel gets you, it will propel
Oh my God. God, they're so creepy. This is so great.
There's further death or bloodshed. Your punishments will be worse.
Erasure of identity.
I just saw like an editing error in the episode itself. I'll point it out later in the discussion. Okay.
A living prison.
I see. That might be Diane. Diane.
Hundreds of thousands of life forms.
Oh! Not just one. That's a couple million.
There is no greater battle than this. The battle between time and space, and time shall not lose.
This is an interesting idea.
Is that passenger meant to glow like that? Maury.
Okay, so this is what... Okay, this is a very good context episode.
Oh, you come, Maury. This is your time.
I love how the voices overlap. You work on this. Okay, this explains like everything.
What is your mission?
Love.
Incorrect. Love is not a mission. Love is an emotion. Emotions are not missions.
Shoot. Tamagotchi friend.
To where we need to be.
That Tamagotchi's gonna die, but...
The other 4 are family members of my dear opponent,
So execute
local critic
them.
Frey Sample.
So fuck him.
They need to have an accident.
Corruption. I see.
They're dead. You saw the reports. An accident on the lunar range.
You want to report that the Grand Serpent is responsible.
It was his condition for the Alliance.
There's no evidence on the recording.
I mean, you can see in the recording that he asked you to stop the recording, right?
I took an oath. I swore my loyalty to our constitution.
Alright. I like this guy. I like Bender. He's cool. He's like, I'm an honorable man. I do the right thing. He's doing it properly too. He's like, I'm filing a proper submission of a report. Seeing what we can do. And then it's put in the station as like punishment.
I won't be coming back off tour when I expected.
Oh, there's a message to his family, maybe.
It may be a lot longer before I see you again.
Yeah.
I'm permitted one message. I hope it gets to you. I love you.
You know the rules. Don't touch what you can't afford.
We know each other.
Is that Carbonista? Carbonista was a member of the division. She did say that. It might actually just be the Carbonista.
The force of time will break you.
This is my only chance to find out more. Who I was, who I am. It's all in here if I can just find it.
Don't be too greedy. Forced out? Yeah, forced out.
Stop fighting now, Doctor.
Or... What the fuck? Yeah, who are
Who
you?
am I? You think you can navigate all those time streams without anyone noticing?
Are you God?
There'll be no glory awaiting you on this one.
Now, you seem to think you're very well informed.
I'm telling you, the damage to time is already done. Think of them as a temporal poison or contagion.
I'm sorry, I'm normally very good at keeping up with things, but you lost me quite early on. Where are we?
Yes.
This universe is over, Doctor. The flux wasn't an accident. It wasn't a naturally occurring event. It was made. It was placed.
I mean,
what?
I mean, yeah, I figured. Oh, that part I didn't know. Is it because she fucking yeeted the time vortex energy into it?
You can go.
What the okay, back to...
Pull me back! Pull me back! I want to go back in.
What the
there.
fuck
I
was
have
that?
to get back in. Don't chase it, okay? It's not okay!
I hear what these things are.
Particles of the Time Force.
Time Force? Like the Power Rangers?
It happens. And we're going to stop you, right?
Tell him, Dan.
Where am I now?
Fucking...
I can't get to you.
What happened to you? What are
Why
you
did they get her? Why does she matter?
You can't. You mustn't.
Of course I can. Get off me.
Do as you're told. You have no idea what you're dealing with. I do. Stay there. What do you want?
To reign in hell.
Well, we did make Satan that one time, so I guess hell might be real. Yeah, that sucks for them, though. Okay, yeah, cool. It works. What?
Get her back, I promise. We'll get Vinder home, we'll rescue Diane, we'll find out who's behind the Flux, and what it's got to do with me.
Why would it have anything to do with you?
Does everything have to be a discussion? Go on.
Stop dodging questions. I mean, I know the answer is long, but like...
I'm only permitted one message. I hope it gets to you.
Oh!
I love you.
I guess wife it is. Or lover of sorts.
But I'm not giving up.
I'll find you.
Whatever it takes.
What's weird is that I think the daughter has like that's like circuit that you can... What the and then you're in the TARDIS.
What's that?
Lights are flickering.
Don't blink.
Why not?
Don't blink.
Keep your eyes on the angel. Stay behind me.
Keep looking at it.
I think I'll just blink.
Just... Oh god. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god.
The angel has the TARDIS.
Good. Yeah. That's fun. Oh, that's a fun end of episode, isn't it? Oh, that's a good one. Okay, alright, let's talk about the episode. God, this was a weird ass fucking episode for me to record because I said it, but like while I was watching the episode, it was like 12 p.m. and the power just died. It just went out. It was like 12 p.m. on the dot. It like died, and then I was just like waiting for it to come back, and it didn't. And it was like 45 minutes went by, and then it came back in. I was turning on my computer again, and then it died again. And then it came back, and then it went out again. So it was just awful. It was terrible. And now it's like 4 hours later, and this is when I'm finally recording this. So I'm sorry about that, but yes, my episode was disrupted by an abrupt 4 hours break between one half of it and the other. But you know what? That actually, I feel like that maybe helped me process the episode a little bit more, because like it feels like the first half of the episode, or even more than that, it was like a bunch of like, all right, we're just jumping around a bunch of shit and I don't know what the fuck is happening. But later, the episode kind of wraps up somewhat nicely, and you understand, oh, okay, that's what was happening. I understand now. It makes a lot more sense. This is fine. I was under the impression that whatever we were seeing for the first chunk of the episode was like characters being scattered through time, but it wasn't that. Everything was actually happening inside of themselves, I guess. Just like time was going through them, and they were like, their consciousness was scattered across their own individual timelines. So that was different. I did like that. We got a lot of context for the Doctor, actually. That makes that made a lot of sense. So and I went back and I checked. There was a moment in the episode when they referred to Dan as something, and then the Doctor was like, "Wait, what did you just call him?" And I was zoning out because I was thinking about something else. And I was like, wait, what did she say? I wasn't paying attention. I went back. They called Dan a dog, and even when I watched that, I was like, wait, okay, that probably means that it's like a weird alien thing. It is not actually Dan, sure. But then, no, it was actually maybe Carbonista. It is definitely a Lupari, but it might be Carbonista because we know that Carbonista was a member of the Division. And they referred to the Doctor and Ruth and his team, her team, as the Division. So, okay, the Division went to the Temple of Atropos or whatever. Swarm and Azur were reigning over it or some shit because they kick the Maori back. They banished them or whatever. The Doctor managed to sneak in Maoris inside of the passenger. The passenger is kind of like a prison for a bunch of human, well, not human, just lives, a bunch of lives inside passengers. So the Doctor managed to sneak it. I said the Doctor, but like the entity that was before the Doctor, you managed to put a bunch of Maoris inside of the passengers and sneak them in, and that's how they came back to the temple. And then they like capture Azur and Swarm, and then fast forward in time, and that's where we are. Okay, that gives us a lot of context, and it gives us a lot of context for the Doctor too. So now we know. Okay, so the Doctor was a member of the Division, which is around the time when he was Dr. Ruth. Fucking Carvanista was, I'm assuming it's Carvanista, it could just be another Lupari, but I think it is Carvanista, was the Doctor's like partner, or was served alongside the Doctor. So Carvanista knows a lot, so the Doctor's gonna have to go and talk to him. But Carvanista said that he cannot talk about whatever's happening or some shit. But yeah, sure. We learned that, and then we learned that they took out Swarm when he tried to take over the place, whatever, the Temple of Atropos for the first time. They saved it, they freed it, and then that's when they imprisoned them. Why was Azur like hidden in Earth? That's a good question. Why was Azur hidden in Earth inside of another like person? That's weird. Like did the Division hide Azur inside of a person, sort of like how they hid Ruth inside of Ruth, I suppose, you know, like the oh god, I forgot the name of the thingy, but like the watch that turns you human or whatever. Did they do that for Azur as well? Alright, I mean, that would be a good way to hide someone, you know. We already established that's a great way to hide anyone, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, what else? Okay, that gave us a lot of information, and it was pretty good. I appreciated that, because in an episode where like a lot of it was like confusion, the fact that later it actually gave me information that I'm like, okay, that actually gives me a lot. Thank you. It made me feel good. Y'all don't know true fear until you're watching an episode and then the weeping angels are inside of like the TV, and then they start coming out of it, and then your lights die. You don't know true fear and then that happens to you, because that's exactly what happened to me. Because like it was literally a moment that weeping angels start showing up, and then they come out of the door of the fucking and then they come out of the fucking TV, and the doctor was like, shut it off, and then they Yas quit the game, but then he came out again, and then the power died, and I was like hold up, shit. It was kind of funny, dude. I wish you could have seen that, but like because I'm recording this with a webcam that is plugged on my PC, so it died the moment the power died. But if it was like a real camera, you would have been able to see that, because the lights would have still been on. So you would have totally been able to see like, oh shit, oh fuck. So yeah, I'm sorry that's not the case. Yo, let's get a fundraiser going so I can buy a proper camera. There's a lot of stuff I gotta buy first, but okay, so that happened. But dude, Weeping Angels in this episode was pretty good. So okay, so when I was watching the episode, I was under the impression, and even before previous episode, I was thinking that the Weeping Angels and the Maori are maybe the same entity, like the Weeping Angels are actually from the Temple of Atropos or something like that. And I still think they could be, but like maybe I'm thinking that maybe the Weeping Angels are just kind of a scavenging. Because Weeping Angels show up where time is disrupted, right? Or something like that. So maybe the Weeping Angels showed up just because this is a hub for a bunch of time weird shit. So they just showed up in order to feed. But yeah, I was thinking that maybe they would matter to the Flux storyline, to the Temple of Atropos and the Maori. But maybe now I'm thinking, okay, this might just be there just taking advantage of the situation, and that's gonna link in the Weeping Angels episode that we're probably gonna get the next week. So you know how we had this entire episode previous week and they didn't really matter to the Flux storyline? Maybe that's what's gonna happen for this next episode. We're gonna get the Weeping Angels episode, and then we're gonna have to deal with the Weeping Angels, and then next we're gonna get episode 5, and that one will be related to the Flux. So maybe that's what's gonna be it. Because I was told the way the production goes for this season. What did people say? Let me scroll back and see. So I was told by 8 episodes in production, they meant 6 episodes of the season plus 2 special next year, because of production wise they were filmed together, with the added 3rd special being filmed later September and October this year. Okay, so yeah, I know it's 6 plus 2 plus 1, but what I was thinking, I thought they said it was gonna be like originally like 10 episodes, and then they were like, okay, let's do 8. So is that what happened? Because if that's what happened, that still means that they had to like shrunk down the season, which means that they probably needed to save time somehow, because they probably already had a script of how the season was going to go, and then they were like, wait, shit, we can't do that anymore. So yeah, maybe the original, like if that is the case, if it was shrunk down from 10 to 8, then after I'm done with the specials, I would like to like look back and be like, okay, I wonder which parts were like shrunk or which parts were avoided, you know? Because like the fact that we got a Suntaran episode and next week we're probably gonna get a Weeping Angel episode, I'm thinking like maybe we're gonna get like a Cyberman episode at some point, and we're not gonna get that because we don't have time anymore. Maybe something like that. Vendor, we got to learn a lot about Vendor actually. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. So Vendor, Vendor's a character that like like he just showed up, and I didn't know how important or not important he was going to be. I was happy to see that he was actually like somewhat important in this episode at least, and we got to learn a lot about him, and he's really cool actually. So we learned he was this dude, I don't know, he was like a commander or something, and then he was given this position to like work underneath like some, I don't know, the president of whatever planet he lives in, I don't know, some big boy entity. That guy is an asshole, and Vendor, like we got to see enough in order to be like, all right, that guy sucks. Like Vendor like agrees with him in something that he said, and he's like, what the fuck did you say? And I'm like, wait, what did you say? What was that weird? And then I'm like, wait, is he not allowed to speak? And it seems that was the case. He just hates that this random grunt just replied to him. And it's like, it's not your job to reply to me. I can do my own thinking. I can see I can think the shit that I want to think, and I can say the shit that I want to say. I don't need anyone to agree or disagree with me. Do you understand? Shut the fuck up and do your job. It's like, fuck you, dude. And then he witnesses some kind of injustice, really. Like, so this president dude, the great serpent, something like that, he was dealing with this race or whatever, and yeah, sure, they were both were gonna get benefits, but the dude was like, all right, turn off the recording, and he's like, but sir, I am like obliged by like law to, no, shut the fuck up, turn it off. He turns it off, and then he's like, all right, so here's what's up. There's like 9 people in your like planet or whatever that we're gonna need. So we need 5 of them. 5 of them, they're cool, whatever. We're gonna need them back. The other 4 though, they're family members of like the guy who's running against me. He's critical of my things. Yeah, so I'm gonna need them to just go away. I'm gonna need them to disappear, make it look like an accident. And Bender witnesses that, and he's like, what the fuck? So then, because Bender is he's a nice dude, and like that's the thing about Bender, he's lawful good, actually. He's lawful good. It's interesting to see a lawful good character that like this, because usually lawful good characters are like goody two shoes. This guy is not really goody two shoes in like terms of like personality, but what he is that he's like, all right, I saw some injustice, I'm gonna go to my superior and I'm gonna file this report, and I'm gonna be like, all right, this is what I saw, this is what I witnessed. And she's like, you understand that this is not gonna go through, right? You understand that you're fucking yourself over to do this. And he's like, doesn't matter. This is what I saw, and it is my duty to do this because I swore an oath. It's like, he's really cool. He's like a very honorable guy. He's like, he sticks true to what he believes in, but at the same time, he doesn't like take it upon himself to like assassinate the Great Serpent or whatever. No, he's like, I will submit a former, like, I would submit like a formal like report to my superior. It's like, that's not gonna do anything, but I appreciate the fact that he thought he might, you know? And he's doing it the proper way, you know? He's not doing something crazy. You know what? That's good. I like that. I like that a lot. Good job, Vinder. I'm actually liking that character a lot now. He might be like my favorite, like Chibnall era, like random character that was introduced, you know? Like, I like Dan. I actually do like Carvanista, no, but we didn't get a lot of Carvanista, you know? If we got a Carvanista backstory episode, I would be all in for it. But for the time being, we got Vinder. That's fine. Vinder's pretty cool. I really like him so far. I said during this reaction, I was like, I would be super down for Vinder to be a companion. And I don't mean like join in with Dan and Yas, that would be fine too, but I mean like after the season is over, because I think they said Mandy Gill is gonna be gone after this season. Maybe Dan will be as well. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Dan, but like it would be fucking awesome if like they just left, but Vinder is like, Doctor, what if I go with you now, you know? What if I just decide to travel with you now? Because here's the thing I miss from like classic Doctor Who. What are the like weird companions? And I don't mean, I mean weird in the sense of like, I have already seen like random like young girl or dude from like, I don't know, 21st century Earth. I already seen that. I've already seen every flavor of that, you know? And I understand that it's better for like, for like the branding, or not the branding, but like better for like whatever, for the audience to like impose themselves into it, you know? It's just like, oh, here's someone that has the same knowledge that you do because they come from the same background that you do, but they get to experience all this cool new stuff, and to them it's weird, and you're supposed to be like, oh, they have the sense of wonder that I would have, so you're living vicariously through them. It's like, I understand that. I don't care for it. I've been watching the show for fucking 13 seasons, not counting classic. I want the weird companions. I want, okay, the fact, if you want to have like a good character with like a good development and story, and not just be like an audience self-insert, you absolutely should go for like a companion with a different background. Because like what classic Doctor Who did is to like, fucking the first Doctor's companion was like his granddaughter, right? He was his granddaughter in the teachers or whatever, but he was his granddaughter. Then I think the next one, God, I don't remember who was next. Fuck. I've seen a lot of classic Doctor Who companions though. I just don't remember in what order they came in. But there are people from just regular Earth. But then there are people that are from like random planets in like the faraway future, you know? We had Adric. I think Romana was a Time Lord as well. I think it was Romana. Who else? Fuck. Ace was like from Earth, but then she was like yeeted into like a random planet in space or whatever, and then came back. And Ace slapped, by the way. Ace is like one of my favorite companions because she's like an 80s punk chick. That's awesome, but she also had like knowledge of like weird sci-fi shit because she was yeeted into some place random, right? I think it was Fenric who did that. I don't remember. Whatever. Classic Doctor Who's weird, but I love getting like companions from like different like backgrounds. I don't just want like random 21st century Earth chick, you know, or random 21st century Earth dude, you know. I want to get someone cool from like a different background, and I want them to like refer to that background. Okay, and Vinder, that Vinder is filling a little bit of that itch that I have, you know. I've also heard people express this thought before, you know, the sentiment of like, I would like to see a companion that is not just 21st century Earth, well, however. No, it's like, let's get someone weird in there, you know, because new Doctor Who hasn't really had that yet. It had that in the sense of like Nardole. Nardole was that, and if you want to count River, maybe, but like River doesn't really travel with the Doctor. River shows up for specials, but that said, yo, I would love to see River in like River and Jodie I would love to see that, actually. I would love to see what River would think of that. She would be all for it, but I would want to see what she says. That's what I want. Captain Jack. I forgot about Captain Jack. Yeah, totally. Captain Jack absolutely fits the bill as well. But the problem with Captain Jack is that he's also like a special episode companion. He's not a regular companion, you know? Because like Jack showed up for... Okay, let's think about Jack. Jack's appearances. He was in Dr. Dance's Empty Child, Dr. Dances. He wasn't much of a companion. He was like a character for that story. But then he jumped into the TARDIS, Boomtown, and then Bad Wolf. So he... And Boomtown is not really a traveling episode. We go to Earth. And it's not really about Jack or anything. So Jack travels with the Doctor. I remember that was like implied that there were travels that we didn't see then. But then he immediately goes to the finale. And then the Doctor leaves him behind. Then Torchwood. Then he shows up for Utopia, which was awesome. But it's not really adventuring. Then Torchwood. Then the end of... No, not... fucking Journey's End. A Stolen Earth. Journey's End. He's awesome in there. God, I miss Series 4, man. I miss Series 4. Like... I just... I'm so excited for Russell T Davies to come back. I really am. Because, like, I keep thinking back to, like, Series 4. And I don't think my brain has ever got injected with that amount of like, dopamine. As it was during fucking A Stolen Earth. You know, because that was the crossover episode. That was so good. And I didn't even watch Sarah Jane. Nor Torchwood. When I watched that episode. And yet... that episode still felt so big. Because it was like... Earth is fucked. All these planets are fucked. The Doctor is like, oh shit, we're trying to get back in. Rose is here. Captain Jack Harkness is here. Martha's here. All of the unit people. Torchwood? Yeah, sure. It's a spin-off. I haven't watched it, but Torchwood is there. Sarah Jane's here. I know her. She was in that episode. Like, Mickey and fucking Jack show. It's like, and it's Davros as well with all that. It's like, that episode, that two-parter, the Series 4 finale is so like, they just hit you with everything. They just know exactly what you want, and they're like, all right, fuck it, you know, we're just gonna give you everything. You didn't even think you wanted this, because who would think that we're gonna give you this? Well, fuck you. I'm Russell T Davies, and I'm gonna write the most baller ass fucking story ever. You're gonna love it, because like, the story is not really like the most intrinsic story or anything, but it's awesome because they give you all the cool and fun stuff that you want as a dumb Doctor Who junkie. You know, that's the kind of thing that you can do in a show like Doctor Who, because Doctor Who is like a legacy show, which means that there is more Doctor Who and more things you can call back to the more forward you go to. And the fact that he's able to bring everything in for that finale to just hit you with all the good chemicals into your brain, you're like, hell yeah, dude. I want that. I want that, and I want it now. So I don't know what the fuck Flux is gonna do, or I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do for the specials, but I really hope that Chibnall is able to do something like that for the final special, maybe. I know I'm asking for a lot. I'm not trying to compare whatever he's gonna do to Journey's End, but man, I really just want for someone to just do that, you know? I really want for one of these showrunners to like bring back Graham. Bring back Graham. You just have him for like a couple scenes, or like the final episode, you know? Jodie goes and just has fun with the old gang. Dan gets to meet Graham. That would be fun, actually. That would be a lot of fun. And then the Doctor gets to say goodbye and just leaves. Jack is there. She met Jack. Jack can come back for like a second. Anyway, sure. I got super sidetracked, super derailed. What else do I want to say? Okay, let's go back to the episode. Sorry. We had this other character. Is her name Belle? Belle, let me skip ahead. Belle's story. Yeah, sure. I don't know why we had this like weird like titles every time that they were switching back to her, but Belle seems to be Vinder's loved one, like lover, wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. She seems to be that. Vinder is looking for her, she's looking for him, but they are just missing each other, so they don't know where the other is. But yeah, she apparently survived the Flux. You know, everyone got fucked by the Flux, but she lived. Sure, good for her. But like, what's funny is that if Vinder had told the doctor, hey, can you like bring me to a specific person, I think the TARDIS does have like the like things that they can like put on you in order to go to the place you need to go, right? The doctor used that for Clara. Clara was thinking about Danny and it sends us back to Danny in the past during Listen, right? And I think they did that for like Rory or something before too. So like maybe well, no, maybe that doesn't. Yeah, maybe that doesn't work actually, because otherwise they would have done that shit in order to find people like really easily if that was the case. But that's, yeah, I know that probably wouldn't work. But yeah, I hope Vinder finds Belle again. Belle's cool. She's doing shit for love. That makes sense. The fact that she's like, I'm doing this for love, because she's trying to find Vinder. Vinder's cool. Doctor got to learn a lot about her past. Here's the thing about the Doctor I want to bring up is that I love like distressed, like annoyed, maybe a little bit angry Jodie. I love that, because here's the thing: is that Jodie is like the kindest rain of sunshine Doctor, almost a little bit. I mean, historically. And I remember when Capaldi regenerated into her, I remember thinking like immediately, like, oh, this is what he wanted. Because I have like this like running theory, like a little bit of a headcanon, but I like to think about it, is that the Doctor can kind of like subconsciously choose who to regenerate into based on what they want. You know, it's not something that they get to like choose specifically, but it's something that like they want to be this and then they become that. And because the 12th Doctor was like, learn how to be kind, and I think he didn't want to regenerate because he didn't want to stop being kind, because he remembers being an asshole in Series 8. So the fact that he was like, no, I don't want to stop doing that, then maybe he regenerated and he turned into Jodie, which was exactly what he wanted. But now what I like more is to see Jodie in a position where she's like actually legitimately distressed, when she's actually legitimately like freaking out and kind of like pushing people away from her, because that's so like different from the usual Jodie you get to see. But like, that's the thing about Jodie, is that she's never really opened up to people a lot. She's good to people, she's kind to people, she's fun to people, but she doesn't let people in. And that's the main problem. And Yas calls her out for it. But in this episode, they keep asking, Yas asks the Doctor, like, what does this have anything to do with you? And the Doctor is like, why does everything have to be a discussion? Why do we have to talk about this? It's like, girl. And like, even when she's out of the Mori thing, she wanted to see more of her past in order to like learn more. But she was forcefully kicked out because, hey, you're gonna die. But she was still like, no, I need to go back in. Fuck you. Like, it's like, what? She was like so angry that she got kicked out. And they were just like trying to calm her down. Like, Yas was like, Doctor, you're okay? And she's like, no, I need to go back in. I need to learn more. It's like, okay, calm down, please. Like, we're fine. Like, it's okay. It's like she didn't immediately be like, oh my God, are you guys okay? She was like, no, I need to know more. It's like, okay, Doctor, chill a little. So that's a little bit of you know what it reminds you of? It reminds you a little bit of like David Tennant of the 10th Doctor. You know, in Waters of Mars and whatever. Okay, so not just Waters of Mars, but like at the end of David Tennant's run, you can see that David Tennant is doing a little bit, okay, fuck, maybe I need to change. Maybe I've been David Tennant for too long, you know? I remember that. I remember my favorite part about that is that Matt Smith later in Time of the Doctor, he was like, I had vanity issues at the time. I remember that. That's fucking funny. But yes, that is something that I'm noticing. But there's not much I can say. I'm just intrigued as to see where Jodie Doctor is gonna go as a result. Let's talk about whoever the fuck the Doctor is talking here. So when the doctor is leaving the Mari prison or whatever and goes back to reality, she's talking to this old lady. And she has like a rice farmer's hat in her bag or something. Is she wearing a kimono as well? I don't know what the fuck she's wearing. You don't get to see her very much because you only get to see like her face and her like neck. It's not a kimono, but it is some kind of like, it is fancy clothing. It might be like weird alien fancy clothing. Here's the thing. She says the damage to time is already done as intended. And she says this universe is over. The flux wasn't an accident. It was made, it was placed. Because of you. All is ending. And don't come looking for this. I don't know what she's referring to. You can go. Oh, she's holding like a thingy. She's holding like a flask or something. Okay, I don't know what the fuck that old lady's on about. And I don't know what plane of existence they were interacting even. Like, the doctor was in like her own time stream because of the Mari, and then she came back to reality. So everything was inside her head, but then she came back to reality. But then in the middle, at some point, she was talking to another entity, which for as much as I know, it could be God. So sure, the doctor met God, and God was like, hey, what's up? The universe died, and it was your fault. So stop fighting for it. Anyway, don't come searching for this flask or whatever. Anyway, bye. Fuck you. What? Okay, so that was either God, a future doctor, or some other entity. I don't know. It could be whatever. Yeah, I have no idea. If that was the future doctor, I would be all in for it. That would be awesome. I would love that. I would love that very much. If the doctor turned into an old lady, we need that. That's what we need. We need an old lady doctor. You know, like you know, we've had enough young people. You've seen like every brand of like young skinny dude. And we got Jodie. She's great, you know, but like, what if we get an old lady? That's what we need. We need an old lady. That would be awesome, actually. Okay, I'm in stupid land. Dude, I would love to see an old lady just running around, just being quirky as fuck. That would be awesome. But anyway, I don't know what that was about. Yeah, we're gonna learn that later, what that is about. But for the time being, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else I can talk about here. Well, the angels at the end. That ending was awesome. Because like, here's the thing, is that the weeping angel is infiltrated by Jess's phone. Yeah, sure, anything that looks like an angel can carry the image of the angel and turn into an angel, something like that. I don't remember how the rules work. But yeah, saw an angel. I don't know how the angels will sneak into her phone, and then through her phone the angels became real, and because she's in the TARDIS, the angel jumped into the TARDIS, and then the angel flicked the lights, and then the angel started to fuck with the TARDIS controls, and then next episode an angel has control of a TARDIS. Wow, that's a lot, man. That's a lot to take in. I don't know what the fuck a weeping angel will do with a TARDIS. That's an interesting premise, I'll tell you what. So whatever next episode is gonna be, I'm very excited for it. It was really creepy to see an angel just come in. Dude, weeping angels are still like the best creatures in like Doctor Who. Like the best, creepiest, most interesting, creative creatures you can imagine. You know, just like statue of an angel. It's still, and an angel is a monster, but at the same time, that immediately is interesting because it's the juxtaposition of like angel, like in Christianity, image of like good things, like protectors, saviors, soldiers of good, and then it's immediately like, no, but this is a monster though. They look creepy as fuck because they're stone, but the stone moves, but only when you're not looking at it. So and if they touch you, you're fucked. It's like, all right, fucking goddamn. Like, okay, the game Yas was playing, I don't think that's the Weeping Angel game that they released, isn't it? I don't think it is. Doctor Who, The Lonely Assassins. Yeah, The Lonely Assassins is like a, I don't know, it's like a weird slideshow photos game. I just saw a couple videos of it. Dude, I want to play whatever the fuck game Yas was playing. That would be really fun. That would be really fun. Isn't like an SCP game something like that? I think there's like an SCP game that has like a thing that only moves when you're not looking at it, and it can just kill you instantly if it reaches you. I would want to see that, but with Weeping Angels. I would love to see that. Like, you need it to be a first-person game, okay? You need that game to be first-person, and if the game is first-person, and then you need to explore, you need to find out and solve clues or whatever, but there are Weeping Angels around. Like, come on, Doctor Who. Like, come on, BBC. Hire someone to make a game like that. Exactly like the one that you showed Yas in. Because that's actually the scariest shit you could do for an actual game. You know, like whatever the Lonely Assassins games that is. I'm not saying that game is bad. I haven't played it. But I need the game to be a first-person game where you're just walking around. Hell, you can make that VR. You can do that game VR goggles, and then you're walking around, and then suddenly Weeping Angels. They're like, I don't know if VR has like a detector for it though, but like the thing is that, yeah, sure, there's no like blinking in video games, but what there is that at some point you have to not look at them, because if you need to explore, you can just not look at them, because like, you need to like see around you. It's not like there's like a preferred vision. So in video games, that would be like really interesting. Actually, I would love to see a game like that. That would be so fun. Anyway, sure. I think that's pretty much it I can say about this episode. And now this is the section where So yesterday I asked people. I made a community post on YouTube that said, let me read. That said, "Hey, Doctor Who gang, reply to this with Doctor Who Flux 13 questions or topics, and I'll talk about them during the discussion." So I haven't read any of this, but I'll do so now, and I've gotten just 2 replies. That's fine. I was not expecting for anything. I got a lot of likes, but not replies. So if you want to like leave replies to whatever we're gonna be watching next week, I'm probably gonna make a community post next Sunday. And if that happens, reply to it and ask me questions or whatever, and then I'll talk about them when I record the episode discussion. So I was asked, how many more characters and plot twists do you think Chibnall can throw in before the viewer's minds burst with keeping track of everything? I actually don't think this episode was that bad, and I think it, for me, wasn't that bad because of the like 3 hours of downtime I had in the middle of it. Because the first like 20 minutes of the episode, I was like, what the fuck? But then later the episode made a lot of sense, because it's like, okay, everything was happening inside everyone's minds. We got to see backstory. So if anything, this episode added context and explained a lot of things. So it wasn't that confusing. It was actually giving me more answers than creating questions. So that was good. We got to learn about the Doctor's past a little bit. We got to learn about Vinder. We don't know why they fucking kidnapped Diane, now that I think about it. But they probably knew, okay, Diane's gonna be a Doctor companion. Well, let's kidnap this girl, because fuck that guy. So, sure. I suppose the craziest thing that happened in the episode is where Carvanista being the Doctor's like friend, and also the Weeping Angel showing up at the end. But like, I feel like the Weeping Angel showing up at the end and taking control of the TARDIS, that might not be like, that might not even be part of like the Flux storyline. That might just be like the way that they can tie in the next episode to be a Weeping Angels episode. That's what I feel, actually. The same way that we had some Terrence previous episode, I feel like the next episode is probably going to be a Weeping Angels episode. So whatever the ending was in this episode, it wasn't as much like, oh my god, a new random thing to throw in to keep in mind. It's more like, this is our tie-in for next conflict. And then we're going to solve it, and then we're going to move on to whatever the next Flux has for us. That's how I feel. I could be wrong though, but that's how I felt about this episode. But yes, the season did have a lot of shit that they throw in and try and want you to keep in mind. Mostly the first episode, actually. The second episode was pretty straightforward, and I feel that this episode was confusing at first, but then it made way too much sense, and that's good, actually. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad yet. The first episode was bad, but since then it's a lot more easier to follow. So yeah, I don't know if anyone's mind has burst yet, but I think I'm good. I don't know about y'all, but I'm good. And the other question I got was, how are you liking this series compared to the rest of Doctor Who? That's a difficult question, because I don't think I can properly give any like judgment to this series until it's over. entirely based on the fact that this season is it's a singular storyline season, right? Because I feel like when you have a singular storyline season, a lot of it depends on how the story comes to a close, you know? It needs to stick its landing. Because, like, imagine if you watched the first episode of this season and then somebody asks you, like, hey, how do you feel about this season compared to others? It's like, well, that's not fair, because if I think to Series 4, I'm thinking about, like, A Journey's End and The Stolen Earth, you know? If I think to Series 9, I'm thinking to Heaven Sent, you know? But that's episode 11, episode 12, you know? Like, I'm comparing to, like, the banger episodes of all the seasons. So that's not fair, and especially because I know that this season is a singular storyline, and the first episode, Halloween Apocalypse, was a setup episode, you know? It doesn't answer anything, it doesn't give you explicit conflict, it only sets up future episodes. So, so far, we've only watched 3, so I'll get back to you when I watch episode 6, when I think this season will be over, but even then, I might need to watch the specials in order to pass some proper judgment. I don't know how the BBC wants to handle those, but yes, for the time being, I don't think I can answer that, but so far, how am I liking the series? I mean, I like it. Here's the thing, is that I was thinking about this when I went back to watching this show on the first episode, I think. This is just a thought that has been on my mind since then, and it's the idea that, like, the show feels like too clean now, sometimes. I miss campiness. I miss the campiness that we used to have in the Moffat era and backwards, you know? And the more backwards you get, the worse it is. And I kind of miss that, actually. I kind of miss that. The show now feels like way too clean, too, like, nicely produced, nicely presented, good budget. It's like, that's fine. That's not necessarily a bad thing. But, like, I miss the campiness a lot. So comparing this series to others in terms of, like, the vibe I get, I miss the campy vibe. I miss the, like, this is just some dumb shit we're making vibe, you know? Like, I feel like that was at its peak. I mean, that was always at its peak in Glad Doctor Who, because Glad Doctor Who was like, oh man, we're doing some shit. It's like some dude on a suit, also a spaceship hallway, and we're gonna film 5 scenes in this, and then random cliffhanger and slowest pacing ever. Like, sure, but like RTD Doctor Who was a lot of that, and Moffat era Doctor Who was a little bit better, but it was still like, it still felt somewhat campy. Now it feels like everything is too clean, and you know, that's fine. Honestly, that's fine, but I feel like the show needs to, like, find its footing a little bit. Like, if you want to go step beyond and make the show look super neat, you need to find a way to make that be as entertaining as it used to be by being campy trash. Because, well, that's the thing, is that this is entirely subjective, by the way. This is not like a completely objective, true opinion. This is just me. I enjoy campy shit, you know? Like, I enjoy watching shit movies, for example, or shit shows. Or, like, I'm watching Hannibal right now. Hannibal is a show that is, oh man, that show tries to be super serious, but then I'm just laughing at it, like, half the time. And that's something that, like, I felt with Doctor Who sometimes too, and I kind of miss that feeling. Now I don't get it nearly as often. Now it's like, the show, it's fun, and then the show makes a joke, and it's like, laugh, and I'm like, haha, yeah, that was good, and then we move on. Before, it was more like all over the place. Now it's like very neat. So comparing to previous series, as in that aspect, I miss how the way it used to be before the Chibnall era. Now, this specific series, this is a specific season, Doctor Who Flux. I mean, it's better than Series 11, for sure. I might like it more than Series 12, I'm not entirely sure. Because I'm not sure, because I need to see how the season ends before I can pass some proper judgment there. But I do like the idea of setting up a bunch of shit and then just like slowly, okay, let's slowly tackle onto each thing that we set up, so we can like actually give you like a cohesive story and like mysteries that you're solving like 1 week at a time. I like that. I like that we're doing that. I like the characters introduced in this season. I don't know about the conflict, and I don't know about like the antagonists, like the Swarm. I don't know about them. I don't know about the conflict. So we're gonna need to get to see a resolution of that before I can probably give you anything on that. Jodie, I do like what they're doing with Jodie. Actually, I do like that. Like a slow Jodie corruption arc. It's not really corruption, but you understand what I mean. I like Weeping Angels. That's good. Okay, so this season is expanding on the Timeless Child kind of thing. It's not so much the Timeless Child as it is like the Doctor's past. Because this is the thing, is that I actually don't mind the like Timeless Child kind of thing. The fact that the Doctor had more lives than the ones you knew. I mean, here's the thing, is that I like the idea of like learning more of shit that we just didn't know, and the Doctor is invested because the Doctor wants to know more about themselves because this is important. So that is a way to make your main character invested in something, because the Doctor doesn't really get invested in a lot of stuff. So that's good to see. But at the same time, I understand that some people don't like the idea of like the Doctor is the source of everything because the Doctor is the original Timeless Child, whatever. You know what? That's a little bit of like a main character, like weird, like Jesus thing going on. It is a little bit, but at the same time, if they don't like abuse of it, I don't mind it. I don't mind that just being like an extra piece of lore that gets added at the beginning of the Doctor's story, or what is perceived to be the beginning. But I don't mind it as long as they don't like use it in the wrong ways, I suppose. So exploring what the Doctor was before becoming the Doctor, like being Ruth and stuff. So that's something that I like that they're doing here, because previous season did set up that a little bit, and then we never went and explained and elaborating on it. So the fact that we're gonna do that a little bit this season, it feels good. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Swarm yet. I don't know how I feel about the main like Flux conflict. Oh, I said this in the reaction. Maybe the reason why the like Grandma entity told the Doctor that this was like the Doctor's fault or something, or that the Doctor caused it, is because the Doctor yeeted vortex energy into the Flux. Because we saw Flux approaching the TARDIS, and the Doctor was like, I'm gonna give you vortex energy and we'll see what happens. And then she was like, well, apparently I didn't do anything, huh? And then the episode ended, and we never went back to that. And I feel like the only reason why the Doctor did that is, the only reason why that would happen in the show is because that matters. So maybe the fact that the Doctor did that, that's going to matter. I think they said there's going to be like a fight between time and space. Sure. That just sounds like Homestuck to me, but sure, we'll do that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There was one thing. When was it? Okay, I see an editing error right here, right now. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. You guys are gonna see it. Because I saw this as it was happening, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And I was like super hyper focusing on it. And then I see it. So when Jodie is talking to, well, I can actually show you by OBS. So give me a second. OBS, Jodie, Dragon, bam. So do you see it? Do you see the bug? Let me point it out to you better. So this is when Jodie is talking to Swarm, and it shifts and changes to Ruth. Do you see it? Do you fucking see this? Do you see this editing error? Do you see right there? Right there? Like Jodie is animated, but there is like this little bit of her that is not properly put in shot. It's like cut away, and the reason why that is because Ruth was on. So Jodie was superimposed into the scene. The scene was just was the actor that plays Ruth. She was in the scene because then the scene changed just to her, but Jodie wasn't. So Jodie is imposed in through like green screen, but they didn't do a good job cutting her thing into the green screen. So there's just like an editing error right there. So that's interesting to me. That's I don't know. I just saw that. I just straight up saw that, and I just couldn't unsee it, because like the weird part is that I was looking at it, and I didn't realize what I was looking at. I was like, wait, that looks weird. What is that? And then it changed to Ruth, and I was like, Oh, that was an editing error because the two actresses. That's why. That's the only reason why. Anyway, so that's just there's something a little bit random that I noticed. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for this episode reaction to Doctor Who. So thank you for being here. And again, check out next Sunday. I'll make a community post on YouTube where you will be able to ask me questions regarding the episode, and I'll address those questions in the discussion whenever I record the episode. Actually, I have a lot of fun interacting with people about this episodes, you know, watching weekly alongside everyone. That's like really fun. It's like an amazing thing to do now that we're finally watching this concurrently. That's so crazy to me. But yeah, that's fun to me. So show up on Sunday. I'll make a community post if you want to be in it. Another thing is check out the Patreon. Check out the link in the description below, the pop up on the screen, in order to watch full-length reactions, or if you just want to support the channel. Alright, so I think that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And alright everyone, thank you so much for showing up to watch this episode of Doctor Who. If you would like to watch the next, no, never mind, that was autopilot. If you would like to watch full-length reactions to Doctor Who, you can do so over at the Patreon or just support the channel. Anyway, that's kind of it. Thank you to all these lovely patrons over here. I'll see you guys next time. Take care everybody. Bye bye.